Help me reach 2,000 subscribes. Support the video with a like, and leave your thoughts in the comments. I read every comment. Thanks. I didn't hire a private investigator because I wanted drama. I hired him because I needed certainty. For months, something about my wife felt off, not in a loud, obvious way, but in the quiet gaps where intimacy used to live. Emily and I had been married 11 years. We weren't newlyweds anymore, and I wasn't naive enough to expect constant passion. But what we had turned into something colder than routine. She stopped looking at me when she talked. Her phone never left her hand. Late nights became normal, explanations shorter each time. I told myself I was imagining it. That stress can change people. But doubt has a way of growing teeth when you keep feeding it excuses. I'm Daniel, 43, project manager, predictable life, predictable marriage, or at least I thought it was. Emily used to laugh easily. She'd sit on the kitchen counter while I cooked, stealing bites, teasing me. Somewhere along the way, that version of her disappeared, replaced by someone perpetually distracted, always elsewhere even when she was home. When I tried to talk about it, she brushed me off with soft phrases that sounded reasonable but felt empty. I'm just tired. Work's intense right now. You're reading too much into things. I wanted to believe her. I really did. The final push came on a Tuesday night. She came home after 10, smelled faintly of a cologne I didn't own, and went straight to the shower without saying more than hello. When she came out, wrapped in a towel, she smiled like everything was normal. That smile broke something in me. It felt practiced, polite, like the smile you give a stranger. That night, while she slept beside me, turned away, I stared at the ceiling and realized trust shouldn't feel like guesswork. The next morning, I looked up a private investigator. His name was Mark, mid-50s, calm voice, didn't overpromise. I liked that. He asked for details, routine, timelines. I gave him everything. I told myself I wasn't accusing her of cheating, just verifying reality. I hated how rational that sounded. He said he'd follow her for a week, maybe 2. I agreed, paid him, and then I waited, pretending nothing was wrong while my stomach stayed in a constant knot. The waiting was worse than the suspicion. Every time Emily left the house, my mind filled in blanks I never wanted. I watched her laugh at her phone, wondered who was on the other end. I hated myself for noticing these things. I hated her a little too, which scared me more. After 9 days, Mark texted me. Got something. Can you meet today? My heart started pounding before I even replied. We met at a quiet coffee shop across town. He slid into the booth across from me, ordered black coffee, then pulled out a manila envelope. He didn't look dramatic about it, which somehow made it worse. Before you look, he said, just know this isn't uncommon. I nodded, even though I had no idea what he meant. My hands shook as I opened the envelope. The first few photos showed Emily walking into places I recognized. A gym, a cafe near her office. Nothing incriminating. Relief washed over me so fast it almost made me dizzy. I felt stupid, paranoid. Then I reached the next set of photos. That's when everything changed. My chest tightened. My mouth went dry. There she was, standing too close to someone, her body angled in a way that made my stomach drop. The man beside her wasn't a co-worker, wasn't some stranger. I knew that face. I knew that posture. I stared harder, hoping my eyes were lying to me. They weren't. Mark watched me carefully, like he was ready to intervene if I lost control. I couldn't speak. I couldn't even breathe properly. Every memory I had involving that man replayed itself in my head, twisting into something ugly. The betrayal wasn't just romantic. It was personal. It was surgical. I snapped the envelope shut and pushed it back across the table. No, I said, my voice barely steady. That's not possible. Mark didn't argue. He just slid one photo back toward me, closer this time. I'm sorry, he said quietly, but it is... The man in the photo was Ryan, my younger brother. For years younger, louder, always charming in a careless way that people mistook for confidence. He was the one who helped us move into this house, who drank my beer, who sat at my table during holidays and talked about loyalty like it was a virtue he'd earned. I felt something dark rise up in me, not explosive, not loud, but heavy and cold. Mark kept talking, explaining dates, locations, patterns, but his voice faded into background noise. All I could see was Emily's hand resting on Ryan's arm like it belonged there. I didn't confront her that night, or the next. I needed to understand the shape of the betrayal before I touched it. I told Mark to keep going. I wanted everything. He hesitated, then nodded. Over the next few days, more photos came in. Emily and Ryan entering an apartment downtown. Ryan's apartment. Her car parked overnight. Them laughing in a way that used to be ours. No ambiguity. No deniability. Just proof stacked neatly like evidence in a case file. Every image burned something out of me. By the time Mark said there was nothing more to find, I felt empty instead of angry. The confrontation happened on a Sunday evening. I cooked dinner like usual. Emily complimented the food, kissed my cheek, asked about my week. I watched her perform normalcy with impressive skill. After we ate, I cleared the plates and asked her to sit with me. She frowned slightly, like I was inconveniencing her. I placed the envelope on the coffee table between us. She went still. That told me everything before she even opened it. She didn't cry. She didn't deny it. She covered her mouth, stared at the photos, then looked at me with a mixture of guilt and irritation. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this," she said. That sentence ended whatever was left of us. I asked how long. She said almost a year. I asked why. She said she felt lonely, unseen, like we grew apart. Familiar words. Safe words. I asked about Ryan. She hesitated, then said my name like I was a child. "It just happened," she said. I laughed once, short and hollow. Ryan didn't get a warning either. I showed up at his place the next morning. He opened the door shirtless, confusion turning into fear when he saw my face. I didn't hit him. I didn't yell. I handed him a photo. His shoulders slumped instantly. He started talking fast, apologizing, blaming alcohol, emotions, timing. I stopped him. "You're dead to me," I said. It wasn't dramatic. It was factual. He tried to reach out. I stepped back. That was the last time we spoke. The divorce was clean. No screaming. No public scenes. Just paperwork and distance. Emily moved out within a week. She tried to text later, long messages about regret and mistakes. I didn't respond. I blocked her. I blocked Ryan too. Family members picked sides quietly. Holidays got smaller. Silence replaced tradition. I learned quickly who respected boundaries and who preferred comfort over truth. I chose peace every time. People think betrayal like this makes you bitter. Maybe it can. But for me, it clarified things. I stopped negotiating my worth. I stopped explaining myself. I realized how much energy I'd spent trying to keep people close who were already gone. That realization hurt, but also freed me. I started sleeping better, eating better, laughing again, slowly, cautiously, but genuinely. Months later, I ran into Emily at a grocery store. She looked thinner, tired. She said my name softly. I nodded politely. She started to speak, then stopped when she saw my face. Not angry, not broken, just done. I walked past her without another word. Outside, I sat in my car for a moment, hands on the wheel, breathing in the quiet. I didn't hire a PI to catch my wife cheating. I hired him to tell me the truth I was too loyal to admit. What I lost wasn't just a marriage or a brother. It was an illusion. And once that illusion died, something better took its place. Clarity, boundaries, self-respect. Sometimes the worst discovery doesn't destroy you. Sometimes it finally sets you free.